I got married after 3 weeks. Meeting my husband, I knew he was the one. It was almost like everything that I was praying for was right in front of my face. And you have to watch that too.
Marriage is a beautiful thing, but who gets married just 3 weeks after meeting someone they're supposed to spend forever with? 3 weeks, and you don't even know their favorite meal, let alone whether they snore. No wonder the streets were saying that Fantasia Barrino was chasing after this man like he owed her money. They claimed she wanted that marriage to live so badly, even begging Kendall to put a ring on it. In her efforts to do everything for the family, they ended up broke, like really broke. It was toxic, and they were bringing out the worst in each other. Now, according to the official story, Fantasia was out with her girls, just trying to have a good time. Kendall's drunk friend was trying to convince them to come over to where he and Kendall were, but Fantasia wasn't feeling it. That is, until Kendall showed up, and honey, she was hooked. She immediately started talking to him. They exchanged numbers and ended up talking all night long. The conversation continued when she reached out again to hang out and talk more. During this meetup, Kendall opened up about his past. At the end of their time together, he told her he enjoyed meeting her and was honest about his intentions. He made it clear that he was focused on building his business and wasn't ready for anything serious at that point. It would have been respectful of Fantasia to take a step back, but instead, she insisted she was okay with that. Not long after, she invited him to her birthday party in D.C.
Up to you and just start a conversation?
No. He didn't. His friend came up trying to flirt. His friend was trying to holler hard. And I was like, please, somebody get him away from me.
Go away.
Yeah, they were sloppy drunk. He was. And I told my girls, I was like, yo, let's roll. And he comes down like, yo, I just want to say, I don't want what they're doing and how they acting to reflect on the whole crew. Y'all are more than welcome to stay, da-da-da-da-da, buy you a drink or whatever if you want to. But I just want to let y'all know, like, everybody that's with them ain't like that. And that's when I was like, dang, he fine. I'll stay, let's stay. And we talked all night.
That's not all. Listen to how long it took Fantasia to start a relationship with Kendall, all based on her own assumptions.
He was my dude. He was my boyfriend that night.
I'm pretty sure she had no idea that people would reference her interview clips, where she unknowingly admitted that she was after Kendall. She didn't foresee what chasing a man could cause in a marriage, and that's what eventually led to their financial downfall. Have you ever wondered what made Kendall finally accept and jump into this marriage? We're talking about Fantasia, the American Idol winner and Grammy Award recipient. Could it be that he saw dollar signs? Well, rumors say Kendall left a logistics business he co-founded, and Fantasia walked away from her record label to start their own. But why didn't he stick to the logistics business, considering that's what he knew best? As for Fantasia, she should have known that having talent isn't the same as running a record label. A label involves significant investment and work to get an artist on the map, even if they expect a large share in return. According to Fantasia, she wasn't getting enough, and they were wasting her talent.
It's everything. There was no money in the bank. Y'all gotta think about it. When I won Idol, we was doing tour after tour. My first tour was with Kanye. Like, I was forever working. How did I end up with no money?
How did that
And I
happen?
took care of my whole family, because everybody that was behind me wasn't good. And they knew I was young, gullible, from North Carolina. I ain't know nothing about nothing. So they just prostituted the gift. They made their money. I got back home, I ain't had.
Now, let me tell you something. Leaving a label because you feel used can lead to even more frustration. Just take a moment to reflect on artists like Keisha Cole, Sierra, and Tamar Braxton. When these artists left their labels to go solo, they felt the impact. Their mainstream exposure and commercial success dropped significantly. This was the same issue Fantasia faced, and you can't convince me that it didn't affect her finances. Add to that the fact that she was doing everything for the family, and the workload became completely one-sided. Tell me how a situation like this wouldn't create problems at home. According to several reports, they started fighting all the time because they were broke as hell. Word has it that Kendall was ignoring
My
his
album
wife
called
because
So
the money
Blue.
just wasn't there like it used to be.
And So Blue came about because I went back to that situation. I had just lost my grandmother. And I think at that time I was angry, and he wasn't there when I wanted him to be there, or quick enough when I wanted him to be there, so I went on social media and just put it out there, and I'm upset and angry, and he left for 6
Now,
months.
let me tell you something. Leaving a label because you feel used can lead to even more frustration. Just take a moment to reflect on artists like Keisha Cole, Ciara, and Tamar Braxton. When these artists left their labels to go solo, they felt the impact. Their mainstream exposure and commercial success dropped significantly. This was the same issue Fantasia faced, and you can't convince me that it didn't affect her finances. Add to that the fact that she was doing everything for the family, and the workload became completely one-sided. Tell me how a situation like this wouldn't create problems at home. According to several reports, they started fighting all the time because they were broke as hell. Word has it that Kendall was ignoring his wife because the money just wasn't there like it used to be. But honestly, I'm not really mad at Kendall because, allegedly, he kept it real from the start. She can't tell us she didn't know about Kendall's reputation with substances, alcohol, sex, and his multiple run-ins with the law, like his assault conviction and being arrested for failure to pay child support. And the internet had a lot to say. One user commented, "If a woman chases after a man, she'll chase him for the rest of the relationship." Another person said, "Don't ever let a man tell you he doesn't want you twice, and never speak for him. You'll just end up embarrassed." One more person wrote, "Marrying somebody after knowing them for just 3 weeks is crazy. It's giving she can't be alone." But I want to know your thoughts on this matter. Did Fantasia really rush? And did Kendall play her? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.